welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, March the 27th. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's gardening. Get in the garden. I got Dan Cullimore with us. Good to have you here, Dan.
Thank you.
Community Garden Coalition of Columbia and Boone County. Tell me about it.
The Community Garden Coalition is a not-for-profit 501c3 organization. We were established in 1983. We serve about 37 local community gardens. About a third of those are what we call neighborhood gardens.
When you say you serve them, what do you mean?
Most of our funding is supplied by grants from the City of Columbia and the Boone County, and a few donations that come in. And what we do is provide resources, funding, and advice to community gardens. Explain
to our listeners and viewers how important these community gardens are. They really are.
They're tremendously important. For one thing, our mission is to serve lower and moderate income individuals and families, households in the city and county. We also provide learning opportunities at about 13 school gardens. So in addition to providing resources to help people grow their own food, we also assist gardens that are specifically dedicated to growing food for food security programs.
Yeah, and that's so very important. And you know, there's just something special about getting out and working in the soil with your own hands, producing your own fresh produce from your land or from the community's land, and then sharing it with somebody.
It's a magical thing to watch something that you put in the ground as a seed or a transplant grow and mature and produce fruit or vegetables.
Yeah.
And then there's a tremendous community aspect to it, hence the name Community Gardens.
Right. Go ahead, and then I want to get information on how people can help out.
Most of the neighborhood gardens have somewhere on the order of between 20 and 50 households that participate, and they all typically have community work days where everybody gets together, or as many people as show up, and do common maintenance things on the garden, cutting the grass and weeding and various other things.
So if somebody wants to volunteer, or they want to help out, or they want to make a donation, how do they do that?
Well, our website is www.comogardens.org.
Okay.
And they can find some drop-down menus there. They can get a garden. Apply for a garden spot. They can contact us through that website and an email address to offer to volunteer. We do have that happen occasionally. So
one other question, then we're out of time, because I know Wally is over here waiting to get his information on. But if somebody would like to donate some land, a part of their land, to help a community garden, you do that too?
Yes, in fact, we are actually in conversations right now with a couple of folks who've made that offer, and so we're trying to figure out how that would happen.
Okay. All right. So again, the website for more information is
www.comogardens.org.
Okay. Dan, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Pleasure having you here. All right. Now I turn to my friend Wally PFEFFER, right next to my left, and Tyler NICOSIA. Good to have you here.
Good to have
Tyler
you.
NICOSIA.
Thanks for having us,
I pronounced it correctly, right?
You did.
NICOSIA. Say it 3 times. I got it right. Well, Wally, of course, is a big MU alumni event promoter. What do you want to talk about today, Wally?
Well, as we've discussed in the past, the alumni chapter here in Boone County sponsors events not only to help alumni maintain that lifetime connection to the university, but also to raise funds for scholarships. And so one of the events that Tyler has created for us the last couple of years that's helped raise money is our Wine Down event, and I'll have him tell you all about
Tyler NICOSIA will tell us all about it.
So this is the 3rd annual Wine Down Wednesday.
What is a Wine Down Wednesday?
It is a wine tasting, also food involved, which was hit very hard last year, so we're prepared more this year for that.
Okay.
Be a lot of food that are wine friendly. Jack Lee from A Bomberito Wines will be there to talk about the wines. It's just kind of a social event for us to raise money for the scholarship fund. There'll be a silent auction, and then Grand Cru will actually donate 10% of the sales of all wine bottles at the end to the scholarship fund also.
Oh, so it's going to be at the Grand Cru.
Yeah, it's at the Grand Cru too.
Okay,
So
what's the date on it?
it is April 12th.
And that's a
6
Wednesday.
p.m. Yep.
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
That's a couple of days before tax day, which actually is now on a Monday this year.
That's right.
Right,
Since
because
the 15th is on a
it's
weekend.
On a weekend, all right.
Right.
So it'll be Wind Down Wednesday
Yep.
on April the 12th. I like that title, Wind Down Wednesday. April the 12th. What time at the Grand Cru?
6 p.m. And then for Mizzou alumni members, it's $25. For non, it's $30.
Okay, and what do they get for this $25 or $30 besides knowing that they're helping a very worthwhile
Absolutely.
cause?
There'll be, like I said, there'll be multiple food options, and then we'll have 4 wines for them. And then
You get
wine.
as much wine as you want? Tasty?
It's pretty generous, to be honest. But nobody overdoes it by any means. but
Okay, all right.
yeah, it's a great event. Like I said, it'll be our 3rd one. It's grown the last 2 years. We'll probably cap it around 75 if it gets to that point. Last year, I think we were at like 65. and it
Okay,
was
so how do
pretty tight.
people get tickets in advance?
Well, they can go to the Mizzou.com website, the Alumni Association website, look at the events tab.
Okay, so go to Mizzou.com,
Com.
not edu.
Well, no, Mizzou.com, www.mizzou.com.
And then you'll find all the events that are on there?
Yes, and you can register for any of the events across the country that are happening, but you want to come to ours.
Okay, so you look for the Wind Down Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
And can you make a donation if you want to make a donation? I'm sure
Yes.
you're open to taking donations also.
Yes, most certainly. Most certainly we are. So, yes, you can make a donation if you can't attend, or if you want to attend and bring several of your friends, we're happy about that as well. And if people decide, I don't want to call or do this online, they can call the Alumni Association at 882-6511.
Okay, and you take credit cards. And
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got about 30 seconds left. Anything else that you want to mention that you have coming up in the future?
In May, we'll have our Spring Fling event, which is an annual event to thank our membership locally and have a kind of a party to thank them for being members. But maybe we'll be back to talk about that too.
And you know, Wally, I know you realize how important the University of Missouri is to not only to Columbia, but to all of Central Missouri. It is a very important driving engine for our area.
It is for the economy and for the state as a whole.
Yes. So if you want to help out, go to www.mizzou.com. Find out about a Wind Down Wednesday, anything else that you want to do. Thank you guys so much for coming by.
Thank you for having
Pleasure having you here. Tomorrow we're going to find out about the Boys and Girls Clubs and Alzheimer's Association. Our program directed by Travis McMillan, Reynolds Journalism Institute, Audio Pat Akers, KBIA, our floor director Lowell Thomas, assistant producer and guest coordinator Uncle James Mauser. Bye-bye.